Hey everybody, Dave and Josh, welcome to another episode of Good Chatter, JP25 Media. Again, we're talking about the 2020 NBA Finals. Can you tell that the Lakers are in it? We're a little bit excited. It's been a while. I think that jersey's been sitting in the closet for over 10 years, but fuck it. I even have a Laker warm-up. I'm going to wear it after they win the goddamn championship. What do you think of that?
Fuck it.
We've been waiting a long time.
We deserve this, yeah.
Got Randy Newman in the driveway ready to go, play a little bit of I Love LA. And we'll figure out the whole parade route and everything else after this is all done. But we're excited. I mean, obviously, we think the Lakers are going to get off to a hot start. They're on a mission ever since Kobe passed, especially that this is the year about Kobe. And there's no way the Lakers go through the NBA season without winning the championship for Kobe Bryant. And you can tell with LeBron and Anthony Davis and Frank Vogel and all these guys have been in the bubble. They have one thing on their mind, and that's winning a championship this year in 2020 because it means more this year than all the other years.
Correct. The Lakers this year are going to win the championship. I think the Heat are the third best team we've played so far. What do you think about that?
You know what? I tell you what, it has gotten tougher all the way through. First of all, when they lost the first game to Portland, you get a little bit nervous because guys like Charles Barkley are saying...
He's no shit. Yeah, he messes up everything. But yeah.
You're going, Portland's going to win. If Portland gets in, Portland's going to knock off the Lakers. Well, that didn't happen. Damian Lillard didn't even finish the series. And then you go on to the next round in the Rockets, and they lose that game to the Rockets, and you get a little bit nervous, and you're going, man, can they figure out a plan to stop the Rockets? Well, that was easy. The Nuggets series scared me. That was tougher than it looked. Even though it was over in 5 games, I was glad that series was over.
Me too.
The one thing I'll say about the Heat, because if you said, hey, there's an opportunity to play the Heat instead of playing the Bucks or playing the Celtics, I'll take it.
Yeah.
Is that the Heat were a team that nobody expected to be where they are. And they've gotten extremely far, and they have a very good coach, and they have Jimmy Butler, and they have guys on that team, and we'll get into it, guys on that team that scare you a little bit. So I'm not exactly sure. I'm one of those guys that I don't want to jinx it, but if the Lakers don't win the NBA championship, I'm going to be completely shocked.
Yeah, I'll be shocked too. I think the key to the Lakers winning is obviously LeBron James and Anthony Davis, but who's the third guy that's going to step up? Last series was Rajon Rondo and Dwight Howard. I think this time we have to go to more of the other guys like KCP and Danny Green to just make some threes. The Heat play that zone defense where they're going to give us the three-point shots. We just need to make them. I don't know who the guy's going to be that steps up this time around.
Danny Green has been a tremendous disappointment ever since they've gone to the bubble. And it's very frustrating because you hear different guys saying how they're working on their game, and Danny Green saying, I'm working on my game all the time, not knowing when this COVID thing would end, would there be a start to another NBA season. But he was a guy I expected to come out and play great, and he hasn't. It's been extremely frustrating.
Yeah,
he's been shit. I mean, that's basically the only way to put it. You lose Avery Bradley, and I know that sounds like, okay, we're past Avery Bradley. We really aren't.
No, I'm not over that at all.
Because you look at the Heat and the kind of game they play, that, it would help to have a great defensive guard. And Caruso doesn't get a lot of credit for his defense, but when you break down NBA defenses, the 2 best defensive guards in the NBA this year were Avery Bradley 1, and Caruso was in the top 5.
Yeah.
So to have him and then to have Caruso, going, man, this is a sweep. But you don't know. I mean, the Heat shoot the 3 extremely well. They move the ball extremely well. And they always seem to find that open guy. Not having Avery Bradley hurts a lot. I don't know who the third guy is going to be. I would love to think it was going to be Kuzma, but why now? Why would we expect it to be Kuzma right now? You like to think, well, it could be Caruso. Not for the whole series. It's not going to be Caruso, right?
Not offensively.
Not KCP for the whole series.
No.
So I don't know exactly what direction they go, who that third guy is on a night-in, night-out basis.
We could just do it by committee, I think, like we've done the whole playoffs. But Eric Spoelstra, in my opinion, is the best coach in the NBA. I think he's going to figure out a way to kind of stop those guys and put it all on LeBron and AD. And as good as they are, I don't think those 2 guys can win us 4 games. We do need somebody to step up. So who's going to make those shots? I still don't know. I think Danny Green has been the most inconsistent, most frustrating player on the team right next to Kyle Kuzma. These 2 guys we expected so much from. They've underperformed. Danny Green makes $14 million a year. I look at that every fucking day and it drives me crazy. I pull the hair out of my head. And I just need these guys to step up. Just one time, make these shots. Dwight Howard, his old ass is running up and down the floor. You do the same. Just make your shots when you get them. JaVale McGee has been so disappointing as well. Step up. This is your time. Everybody's watching. They go small ball. We got the centers. Let's just take advantage.
I hope that's the case. And again, I will take the 2 guys you have. I mean, you mentioned LeBron, you mentioned Anthony Davis. When they met earlier this year, the Lakers swept the series from the Heat this year in the 2 games that they played, and the one who stepped up the most was Anthony Davis. Mm-hmm. And I think it is going to be Anthony Davis that's going to have to be the one that has to carry them. Doesn't mean that if it's all said and done, he's the Finals MVP. I think a lot of people believe LeBron James is the best player in the league. At the same point, I think LeBron James, as much as people say, there's not a rivalry there between the Heat and the Lakers, there definitely is. I mean,
sure.
LeBron went to Miami, he went to the NBA Finals, he won 2 championships. He didn't win all the championships that he said he was going to win, but things didn't end great in Miami. And Pat Riley being arrogant and saying without a doubt he's going to re-sign, and he went back to Cleveland instead. And a lot of things happen in Miami that are different than everywhere else as far as the behavior they expect from certain players. But LeBron put his 4 years in and said, hey, I'm done in Miami, and moved on, has made a name for himself in Los Angeles. Pat Riley, of course, was on the Lakers all the way back in '72. You still always see the clip when Jerry West finally won his first NBA championship. The guy that jumps into his arms is Pat Riley.
Yeah.
And Pat Riley, of course, being a coach and a broadcaster with the Lakers. Well, when Pat Riley ran the course through the 80s, and it was all about Magic and Kareem and James Worthy and those guys that helped win 5 titles during the 80s, in 1989, Pat Riley finally won an NBA Coach of the Year. They fired him that year. They were sick of his shit. The players were tired of him.
Yeah.
Guys like Byron Scott and Magic, they're saying it got old. It just, all the pushing and everything of him became one of those things where, look, your message is bouncing off the walls.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to hear your shit anymore. And they pushed him out. And then he goes to New York and Miami and everything else. And there's a lot of connections from, obviously, Pat Riley from his time with the Lakers. Now this is definitely his organization with the Heat. Mm-hmm. The thing that is interesting to me about this NBA Finals, when you look at storylines, is it's the first time in NBA Finals history that 2 teams who didn't make the playoffs the year before are matching up in the NBA Finals. And I was thinking guys like me, who my job used to be to cover the NBA, and I would cover NBA Finals. I didn't have to travel with the Lakers when they went on the road. But if you're a media guy, this is a dream scenario. You would have gone to Miami and gone to LA back and forth. None of this Cleveland bullshit. Nobody wants to go to Cleveland. But it's a great opportunity. But instead, we don't have that. We're in the bubble, and it's going to feel different. And there's nothing like playing at Staples Center and during the NBA Finals and the way the city feels. For the Lakers, it's one of those, I think they dig deep to say this is about LeBron, about Anthony Davis finally justifying his career, and about finishing the season off for Kobe Bryant.
100%. I think this is all for Kobe Bryant. I think the players think about it all the time. Quick question. Which player on the Heat scares you the most?
I would say Jimmy Butler, but I think we know what we're going to get from Jimmy Butler, right?
Yeah.
It's Ben Adebayo, right?
Bam.
There you go. Bam Adebayo.
It's a dumbass name anyway.
Sorry, I wasn't thinking about getting to the Ben or Bam right. I was thinking, how am I going to say Adebayo?
Yeah.
Did I say it right?
You said it right. Yeah.
All right, that's the one that scares me the most.
He scares me the most too.
And here's the guy who's going to stop that. You're going to laugh when I say this. It's Dwight Howard.
Really?
Dwight Howard's going to be the guy that's going to put his big physical body on him, and he's going to run up and down the court with him all night long. And again, Dwight Howard doesn't have that NBA Finals ring, and it's about the end of his career. And remember, he signed that contract of saying there are no guarantees.
Yeah.
And everyone in LA like, what the fuck are we doing bringing back Dwight Howard? We hate this guy.
Yeah, Kobe hated him.
Yeah, I hated him.
Yeah,
I was super frustrated with him.
Yeah.
And at the same time, he comes back a completely different guy. And I think this NBA Finals, you're going to see a guy that's going to give 100% the entire time he's in there. And he's done it the whole year. Not just saying because of the NBA Finals, but I think going in, night out, putting that big body on that skinny kid is going to sit there and wear him out. And I think Dwight Howard's going to be a huge key defensively and just being a pain and a pest that I think he's going to be the big difference maker.
I would never saw this coming, ever. I think Dwight Howard has to be thinking so many different emotions right now. The last time he was in Orlando, he was with the Magic. Kobe kicked his ass in the finals. Then he goes to the Lakers. Kobe kicks him off the team. And now he's back in the finals with the Lakers with LeBron James. Like, what the fuck is going on here? This is crazy. Okay, let's transition over to some controversy. I love controversy.
Yes.
So we'll start with Tyler Herro. He's banging Kyle Kuzma's ex-girlfriend. If you were Kyle Kuzma, how much would that be in your head?
Oh man, it's funny you say that. I think it's more in my head if I'm Tyler Herro.
Tyler Herro doesn't give a fuck about anything.
Oh, I do. I'm sitting there going,
you're on top.
Literally. But no, I'm sitting there thinking, if I'm him, going, wait a second, I love this girl. I'm with her. Out of all the girls in the world, and I'm an NBA player, I can get anything I want. But I got the girl that used to be with Kuzma.
Yeah.
And I'm going, that guy not only banged her, he threw her away.
Yeah, it's true.
So what the hell am I not seeing in this girl that I think I'm in love with? That guy right there wearing number 0 said, fuck it. She's just a piece of ass. I'm going to throw her away.
Yeah.
Now what?
No,
to me,
totally right.
I'm looking at Kuzma going, what have you moved on to, 1? And 2, what is so bad about her that you threw her away? And why do I think she's so great that I need to go and get her when
You
there are
think
a million...
Hero's thinking that.
Yeah, if I'm Hero, I'm thinking, why am I with this girl? There are a million girls in the world.
Yeah, I didn't think about
You know?
like that. Yeah, that's a good point.
And as someone once said, every time I'm kissing her, am I kissing Kyle Kuzma's dick? That's not good. Now completely in my fucking head.
Jeez, I can't make a shot.
Don't throw me the ball. I can't concentrate.
If you're Kuzma, do you throw that line at him? How's my dick taste?
Oh, of course I did.
Right? When he's at the free throw line?
Bullshit. I say it when we're shaking hands at the beginning of the game.
Oh, fuck.
You know when you're walking around?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally getting in his head.
Pull that. Or I guess Kuzma's not starting, so he wouldn't have a chance. I'd walk by him, so checking the game.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, you little bitch.
Yeah, you little bitch. Hey.
I'm glad he's on the Lakers then.
Yeah.
You have the upper hand. I'm glad it's not the other way around.
Right? Am I wrong in this?
No, you're 100%. I didn't think about it like that. You're
Okay,
totally right.
and if you're Tyler Herro, you're like, I got nothing to say.
Yeah. Fuck. I was so confident before this game.
It's not like I stole the girl from you.
Yeah.
You threw her away, and then I started dating her.
Dude, talking about throwing girls away leads us into our next thing, which I love. It's the greatest thing in the world. Obviously a Laker fan. So,
Yes.
whenever the Clippers fail, it makes me so happy. Fuck Paul George, fuck Kawhi. They both wanted to come to the Lakers, deeped us out, went to the Clippers, and completely left us in shambles. But what happened? We picked up free agents, we made back to the finals, and you guys fucking lost to the Denver Nuggets. Fuck you guys. All right. Paul George, 5 years ago, was dating Callie Rivers, Doc Rivers' daughter. Cheated on her with Daniela Ratchich, some stripper. Knocked her up. Broke Doc Rivers' daughter's heart. It was terrible. Everybody saw it. I felt bad for her. It was awful. So this girl...
Did you lose sleep?
I lost sleep over it. It was terrible. This girl files a lawsuit against Paul George, the girl that he cheated with, for bribing her for $1 million to get rid of the baby. 2 days later, the baby's born. Oh, I'm
wow.
sorry. Yeah.
That late.
That late.
Oh.
He's evil. I'm sorry. You're evil. He then files a lawsuit against her, asking for full custody. They say, fuck it, let's just stay together and have a second baby. So now they're happily together. They're
Sure.
weird. Okay, yeah. Doc Rivers picks up Paul George in free agency, or it was through a trade to the Clippers. Now he has to coach him. If you're Paul George, you're looking at this guy, you cheated on his daughter, and you're like, what do I do? How do I talk to this guy? He hates my guts. What would you do if you're Doc Rivers? That was your daughter.
If I'm Doc, I'm like, as much as I want Kawhi Leonard, this kills me. It
Kills
has
you.
to kill you.
Yeah.
Because no matter how much you might love the Clippers and love your job, you still love your daughter more.
Of course.
And man, I mean, I don't have a daughter, but man, if I had a daughter, it'd be like, dude, it's on.
Yeah.
And I couldn't look at the guy every day. Not only look at this thing played out.
Yeah.
Now that you just said all this,
Yes.
Paul George got that brand all the way through. Nothing bad ever happened to Paul George. He got his money, he got his city, he got his team, and he got Doc Rivers fired.
That's true.
Yeah. I mean, Doc has to move out of his Malibu mansion.
Yeah.
And probably move to Philadelphia to coach the 76ers, and Paul George is doing fine.
Dude, oh my God, I didn't even think about that. Paul George won all the way through.
All the way through. Paul never wins, never loses.
Doc
Except
Rivers,
in the playoffs.
Except in the playoffs, which I love. Doc Rivers traded away his own son 2 years ago to set up this team for Paul George, the guy that cheated on his daughter.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Wow, I'm at a loss for words.
PG-13.
And if you guys don't remember, in the first round, the Dallas Mavericks, Los Angeles Clippers, Seth Curry called him a bitch ass, which I will show that video right now. I love it. Fuck Paul George. Fuck you. I'm glad you're at
Paul
home.
George also got Frank Vogel fired.
He did. The coach of the Lakers.
He never loses.
He never loses.
Who runs LA? It's Paul George.
Except he doesn't, because the Lakers are in the finals. All right, I'm done. I'm done with all this. What do you got?
Dude, Paul George also cost Magic Johnson $500,000 for going on Jimmy Kimmel, and he didn't end up a Laker. The NBA should have written a check back to Magic
Dude, you're so right.
and said, "Fuck, we took your $500,000. Thought you were trying to get Paul George. We're going to give you the $500,000 back." Not only did you not get him, he went to your rival.
For tampering.
Yeah.
You're right. Oh my God. Paul George, you're evil.
He's the worst guy on the planet.
Worst guy on the planet.
Yeah.
And he said he was a Kobe fan.
Yeah.
What do you think Kobe would be thinking, looking down on this? You're evil. That's what he's saying. Holy shit, Paul George. Is that bad? I'm sorry. I have nothing else. Do you have anything else to add?
No, it's crazy. All right, give me a prediction. How many games is it going to take NBA Finals?
6.
I'm so confident the Lakers are going to win this thing. I say 3.
3. There we
In
go.
the best of 7, Lakers are going to win this in 3.
Yeah. Okay, I like that.
I'll go 6 as well, by the way.
6, right?
6. I'll give the Heat 2.
I give them 2 only because they have the best coach in the NBA. They're going to figure out a way to steal 2 games.
Yeah.
But Lakers in 6.
Okay, when the Lakers win the championship, how many days in a row are you going to wear a Laker jersey?
Till the end of the year.
To the
Till the end of the year. I'm not going to wash them. I'm just going to keep wearing them till the end of the year. I mean,
And then we're gonna hold off, and when they decide to have that parade, we'll be there.
Is it a virtual parade? Does anybody know the answer
Fuck
to this?
that.
Yeah, I don't know.
You can have a virtual parade, but I want the big one.
Yeah.
When it's all said and done, and we come up with for a cure with COVID and shit, you owe the Lakers a big parade.
Yeah.
We all want it. LA wants it. It's gonna be fantastic.
All right, Lakers in 6. Thank you guys. Make sure you subscribe to JP25 Media on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter at JP25 Media. This is another episode of Good Chatter. We'll see you next time.